Happy Nomad, and I am here in Ontario, Canada, and I'm gonna let this lovely gentleman introduce himself, tell us where we are, the name of the town, and what the name of this place is.
Hi. Yeah, my name is Tim Beauchesne. I'm the founder and co-owner of Beau's All Natural Brewing Company. And we're located here in Eastern Ontario in beautiful little town of Beauchesne, where there's a population of 1,200 people and 3,000 cows. So,
wow, that's really small. So how long has Beau's Brewery been?
Just over 9 years.
Just over 9 years?
Yeah, in fact, we just celebrated our 9th anniversary, and we're going to start working on our 10th anniversary, and we hope to put together something really fancy for our 10th anniversary. Started this, like I say, just over 9 years ago. I was in the leather industry for 32 years, and this building that we're in right now was a leather finishing company. And I decided to get out of that industry because it was becoming a dying industry, and got into something that was fun and exciting, and that sounded like the beer industry. And it was something that at age 55 I wouldn't think most people would think of starting a business, especially that type of business. But I went down to see my son in Toronto, who was living in Toronto, Steve. And when I told him about my idea, he jumped in with both feet. He quit his job, he moved home, and we ended up having the whole family move back to Beauchesne.
So this is
it's a family-run business now. We started with 5 employees. We now have 130 employees.
Wow.
The first year we produced 35,000 hectoliters of beer, and this year we'll do about 35 million hectoliters of beer.
Wow.
So, or liters rather, sorry.
Right, still.
it's a big jump.
Yeah.
So we've come a long way. We've won many awards. We're very proud of that. We've donated almost $1 million in the 9 years we've been operating to local charities and community to help out as far as events go. So we like to give back as much as we can to the community.
Right.
So we now sell it all through Ontario. We're now in New York State, and we just recently entered the Quebec market.
Right.
So things are going very well.
Excellent. I currently live in Syracuse, New York, and I can get the Tom Green and the Lug Tread.
Right.
So that's a wonderful experience.
Yeah.
But what's even more wonderful is actually being here and just having the whole experience. But let me ask you about you and your son for a second.
Sure.
I understand, like a need to mix things up and change things, but why beer? Were you a home brewer? Was your son a home brewer?
No,
like
I
get into that?
I was a consumer, not a connoisseur.
Okay.
It was an idea that I'd heard about because I was looking for a new industry to get into and start a new business. And I kept hearing about the microbrewery business was the fastest growing beverage industry in North America, and has been for a number of years now. And it sounded like a fun business. And I had the building with no debt load, so I wanted to do something with it. And I was talking to my daughter, who was a book editor, living out in Calgary in Western Canada. And she was editing a book called How to Start a Microbrewery. And so she gave me the contact name of the author. I talked to him. His name was Tom Hennessy from Colorado. And he got me so excited about it. That's when I went to see my son Steve and said, listen, I'd love to start this business. I think it's going to be a fabulous business. And Steve fully agreed with me, and then it's all history from there.
So how did you learn the craft of beer?
we hired, hey, I wasn't going to pretend I knew how to make beer. So we did hire a brewing consultant, and he's now our head brewer.
Okay.
And we also hired an equipment consultant as well to help us purchase equipment as we went along. So we surrounded ourselves with people that knew what they were doing. Steve and I were very, felt that we're entrepreneurs. We understand how to run a business, but specifically about making beer, I didn't know anything at the time. So since then, obviously in 9 years, I've learned a lot. I've done a lot of reading, and the business is doing very well, so I guess we did the right thing. But I think we hit, what it was we hit the right product at the right time in the right place. And it's just that there's been an explosion in Ontario, especially in Eastern Ontario, of the awareness of craft beers, and we are sort of like the leaders now in that area.
Definitely. Now, how many what's your regular production line? What are your,
right now,
let's say, flagship?
Well, Lug Tread is our flagship beer.
Okay.
That's probably represents about 65% of our business. But we also do what we call the Farm Table Series, which is going to take over from our seasonals. We used to have one beer for each season, which was four different beers each year. We're going to eliminate the seasonal beers and go with what we call our Farm Table Series. So there'll be 2 beers, one for the warmer weather, one for the cooler weather.
Right.
And in Canada, we get a little bit cooler weather in the wintertime.
Sure.
So we want something to keep you warm throughout the winter. And now we also do what we call our Wild Oats series, which are one-offs, and we're very proud of those. And those are when brewers come up with an idea that they want to try out a new beer.
Right.
And then we have our Greener Futures project program, which that's a members only. You put up $350, and you're entitled to 10 beers per year. All specialty beers that we make. Usually they're barrel-aged beers, either in bourbon or wine barrels or whiskey barrels. And what happens is that pays for your beer for the 10 beers throughout the year. But we take that money and we put it into sustainability projects. So like we're trying to reduce our carbon footprint to 0 if we can.
Right.
So all that money goes. That's what we call it, the Greener Futures program.
Right.
So all that money plows back into sustainability ideas.
Right. So can you tell me a little bit about your logo?
Yeah, the tractor. Yeah, that's a good one. That took a while to figure out.
My beer's too dark to show, but
oh yeah,
maybe you could show it a little closer.
I don't know if that shows there or not.
Oh yeah, the logo.
There, but also,
how do I zoom on that?
Can you zoom on that?
It's up on top over there, and it'll be edited.
Yeah.
And actually, I'm going to have somebody do a periscope of this real quick too.
Right.
Where's my phone? Can you zoom it?
Zoom it, yeah. There's the logo.
There we go.
Yeah.
The good old tractor.
All right.
The great thing about the tractor is we had different ideas at the beginning what we wanted for a logo.
Right.
But what we felt with the tractor represented, first of all, it's a retro-looking tractor. It's like back in the days when the farms were family-run. They weren't big co-ops.
Right.
So you think of a family-run business. The fact that we're in Eastern Ontario, it's very agricultural here. So that was very good representation of Eastern Ontario, and also the all-natural aspect.
Right.
Because we're certified organic, but we're also all natural.
Right.
So we don't use any preservatives, any extracts and stuff like that in our beer.
Right.
So we felt that the tractor represented all those things, and it seems to have. In fact, when the first year or two before we became really well known, was people would just go into a bar and say, "I just want the tractor beer," and they would ask for the tractor beer because they couldn't always remember the name Lug Tread, which was the name of the beer itself.
Right.
Yeah.
So can you tell me a little bit about what I'm drinking? This is
a Tom Green beer.
Yeah.
This is fabulous. This was a collaboration with Tom Green. And we didn't know it, but Tom Green is a very loves beer and really knows his beer.
Right.
And so we were able to get in touch with him and decided to do a collaboration with him. And my son did most of the work with Tom Green, and they put together. He came up here and they put together what they call a milk stout because Tom Green used to do a lot of funny things with milk. So we thought a milk stout would go well with it.
Right.
And like I said, Tom lives in LA. He has his own radio program down there as well. But he comes up here and visits quite often. In fact, he was just here a couple of weeks ago, visiting a lot of our accounts and stuff like that. But so we're really happy with that. We've done collaborations with other people now, and it's becoming very popular to do something like that. And it's great because we get a lot of new ideas this way as well.
Right. And what are you drinking?
I'm drinking what I call a Slugfest.
Slugfest.
Slugfest, yeah. This is Lug Tread, which is our flagship beer, but it's mixed in with our seasonal beer, which is called Festival. So I call it a Slugfest. So it's a half and half, because I love the Lug Tread. It's my favorite beer.
Right.
But I also love all the seasonals, and I often mix the seasonals with the Lug Tread. A lot of our beers actually mix well together.
I didn't know that. May I try a
Absolutely.
little bit of that? That's okay
Yep,
with you?
no. Got a fly going through here, so. How is it?
Hold on.
Oh, you need more than one sip, right?
There you go. You've already gotten the second sip.
That's delicious.
Yeah, I love it.
Actually, I forgot. One of the first mistakes I made was, and I'm going to edit this out. But cheers.
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 Welcome to Beau's.
I'm really happy to be here at Beau's, and I really want to thank you for your time.